Xander, Bogaerts and Jose Altuve react after colliding on a double play attempt in Game 4 of the ALCS. Getty Images Houston, Rob Manfred should invite Tony Clark to the 29th floor boardroom at the commissioner's office. The Players Association head should bring along 5 of his most thoughtful, respected players. Think Paul Goldschmidt, Curtis Granderson, Francisco Lindor, Anthony Rizzo and Justin Verlander. Manfred should insist that 5 of the more influential, innovative team executives come by as well. Think Brian Cashman, Theo Epstein, Andrew Friedman, Jeff Luhnow and David Stearns, and bring your managers with you. Manfred should request cell phones off for the duration and flick on ALCS Game 4. It should be an easy watch. It was a classic, thus linking to great games of the past. But it also was everything the modern game should be. The ball was in play. Just 14 of 92 batters struck out. That showcased that the greatest athletes in the sport's history are playing right now. Just watching Mookie Betts and Alex Bregman defend is worth the price of admission. It was dramatic, tense, strategic, back and forth, poignant from the first pitch to the last out, a sprawling, game-saving catch by Red Sox left fielder Andrew Benintendi with 2 outs and the bases loaded in the bottom of the 9th. It also was 4 hours and 33 minutes long. Even people who love the game, loved this game, in particular, had to feel the length. For context, that is twice as long as Black Panther, plus 5 minutes, twice as long as A Star is Born, plus 1 minute. For totality of all the big hits, great defensive plays and, yes, merciless length, Boston manager Alex Cora said of his team's 8-6 win, that was the worst best game ever. You can't spell commissioner without MISSION, and Manfred must make the mission statement of his tenure to have these kind of games and athletes without this length. He has talked a lot about this, but action must come now, which is why the equivalent of the Mafia's 5 families getting together is required. Manfred should tell Clark after the broadcast, "I am going to reopen the collective bargaining agreement that has so angered you and your group. Together we will devise a system that fairly compensates stars such as Betts and Bregman in their primes rather than the current setup in which minimum scales and arbitration hold them down on the front end and the refusal to pay players much beyond age 30 temper salaries on the back end." But in exchange Clark must remove the obstructionist, just say no to everything stance that has hardened since the last CBA was finalized. The game is in good shape financially, but nothing is promised in a future with more choices for patrons. It is in the players' best interest that the sport stay vibrant and in demand, so it keeps growing. The players must commit to getting in the batter's box, delivering the ball from the mound and generally playing at a less disjointed pace. Here is a quote: "These sides should mull. Above all, our partnership shows that we are one family. We may not always agree on every issue, but we still look out for one another. We listen and learn from each other. And we understand that we're all part of something bigger than just a game." That is from a joint statement last month by NBA Commissioner Adam Silver and Union head Michelle Roberts covering multiple issues. A unified approach works better than beating war drums toward the next CBA. And the front offices and managers must be part of this group effort. Executives such as Cashman and Epstein have a status not just as heads of baseball operations for their respective teams, but as stewards of the game. They and their brethren understand that technology unleashed has brought advancements, but also avenues to cheat that have fostered a paranoia that has paralyzed game action. Manfred must seek help from the executives on how to have the tech but remove the nefarious elements. Unfortunately, the commissioner is going to have to codify lifetime bans for anyone caught trying to influence action by electronic means once the game begins. Watch Game 4 again. See, for example, how the Astro paranoia over sign stealing is leading to long delays on each pitch as their catchers give myriad signs even with no runners on base. So afraid are they that real-time decoding and alerting of hitters is underway. Despite the length, the TBS ratings for Game 4 were still good, the most-watched show on all of cable Wednesday, but that has much to do with mammoth numbers in Boston and Houston. Elsewhere, devilish decisions between sleep or not on a work night were undertaken as the game ebbed toward a 1:12 a.m. Eastern conclusion that brought the average time for a 9-inning 2018 postseason game to 3 hours, 36 minutes. MLB has to erase the need for the devil. The product is great, but even Black Panther, or A Star is Born, needs editing before being released to the public. The leaders of the sport need to commit to each other and to their fan base that they are ready to edit the game down to a more enjoyable length.